Hello and welcome to Crypto Invest TV. I'm your host, X8, and I'll be joined by the Underdoge, and let's get into it. So apparently, there was a tweet today from Jack Dorsey about the Bitcoin Lightning. Yeah, so apparently the Lightning Network is a second layer off-chain payment protocol that operates on the top of the Bitcoin blockchain. It was developed by Joseph Poon and Thaddeus Drya. I probably completely botched his name and the other last name. And published in Lightning White Paper back in 2015. The idea behind the Lightning Network is to solve the scalability issues of Bitcoin by routing the transactions away from the main chain. Um, it uses user generated bi-directional payment channels that allow the network participants to make almost instantaneous peer-to-peer cryptocurrency transactions. The Lightning Network is separate from the Bitcoin network operating on top of it. By on top of it, they mean that users can make payments using the Lightning Network. Using the Network can transact with other peers in the network without broadcasting or recording every single transaction on the main blockchain. So I guess they're saying that like it doesn't necessarily need all the blocks from the Bitcoin blockchain in order to achieve the same process. I guess that's what essentially it's saying. Yeah, I'm just not sure if this is. I'm trying to make sure that I'm looking at the that I have the right one pulled up. Um, I'm not 100% certain because this is Lightning Bitcoin, so maybe this is the one that's the Lightning network. I'm imagining so. Apparently, it looks like to it ran up to about what is this about uh 500 and about 550 back in 2018, and then even now it just hasn't recovered since then, I guess. I don't know, like I said, if that was the right one or not. Um, yeah, yeah, I know what you're saying. I think this is the website Lightning.network, scalable instant Bitcoin slash blockchain transaction. So I'm pretty sure this is the website. Right. Yeah, so we've had you know, had a nice little drop over here in the past couple hours. We were at that 47.4 or 37.4 mark, and now we're down at 35.7. So about a $2,000 drop almost.
The same bounce though, like 38's pretty much where it's topping out at and then dropping back down.
Yeah. So apparently, I accidentally had you muted, so most of the things that you were saying didn't come through.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah, my apologies.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at that. Don't worry. I'll make sure to mess up next time too.
Hey, it's all right. It's all good.
But yeah, so the next thing that apparently has been, going around town is Texas intending to have a crypto mining data center, uh, what being of course, renewably powered. Um, it says right here that on just this random article that I happened to pull up about the new centers will utilize more than a gigawatt of renewable energy in Texas. A single gigawatt is enough to power uh, north of 10 million light bulb. I don't know why they have to. That has nothing to do with anything. Said that the data center will not make environmental groups happy, but it'll also create around 700 jobs in the local economy. I don't know how it would necessarily be upsetting to any environmental groups, but not going to go there. Um, it says here that there could be some environmental concerns, but they're going to you know be calculating that into the Bitcoin mining. I guess the way that they'll be mining the Bitcoin, but yeah. So apparently Texas is talking about opening a data mining center. Probably most likely they'll be opening multiple mining centers if I was a guessing person.
Yeah, I would. I would have to imagine so as well. I mean that's pretty cool that they're trying to become a mining, uh, like a mining mecca of America in a sense,
Yeah,
And
well, that's Texas for you, right? They hear about something and they're like, "Oh yeah, let's do it," and then like let's try and like really do it. First it was first it was the Silicon Valley. Now they're like, yeah, let's do cryptocurrency too. The real interesting thing will be whether or not they're going to limit themselves to only Bitcoin, or if there's going to be other cryptocurrencies out there that they'll be mining as well, like Ethereum, for instance. Would they have Ethereum nodes as well, or would it be strictly Bitcoin?
I couldn't tell you. I don't know. To be honest with you, it seems like everybody wants to mine Bitcoin. I mean, you don't hear about a bunch of people running out to mine Ethereum or Dogecoin. You know what I'm saying? Sure, they're out there. The people are out there, but it's mostly all you hear about is Bitcoin companies buying stuff to mine Bitcoin, right? But I mean, if Texas does that, then that's cool. I give them props because I like their idea right here with the gas vent capture technology. So I feel like that's a pretty pretty sweet way of moving about collecting renewable energy and moving forward to a safer mining process. So that's cool. If they do that, then heck yeah, that brings more attention to Bitcoin and the markets here in America. Then,
Yeah, I mean, most certainly. The question is which is cheaper to mine, Bitcoin or Ethereum?
um, in my mind, Ethereum. Personally, when I did my research and I was doing my digging I was actually going to set up some miners to mine some coins and start a little local mining business, but it kind of fell through. I didn't really have the funds at the time. So, anyways, long story short, during the research that I pulled up, Ethereum was 100 times cheaper on the electric bill to mine than Bitcoin itself. It just took lighter hardware. I
Right.
guess you could say, and because to run a Bitcoin miner by yourself, have fun with that. If you're just gonna run like one, if you're gonna run one ASIC miner or something, have fun with that. But you could run go by yourself like a little. They sell them right on eBay and stuff like that. You can go buy rigs, and it comes with a couple of GPUs put together, ready for you to mine Ethereum. And I personally think that the GPU rig setup for Ethereum is a little cheaper than the rig setup for Bitcoin on your electric bill.
Right. And if you think about it, I mean, Ethereum's kind of more lucrative than Bitcoin if you think about it. Like if they were to only mine Bitcoin, Bitcoin's currently sitting at 30 plus K, and this is sitting sub 3,000. So I mean, in my opinion, I think it would only be beneficial to them if they were to have Bitcoin mining as well as Ethereum mining, because they mine that Ethereum right now, right? Or they mine that Ethereum, say, here in the near future, and they get it sub 3,000, and that could end up being really beneficial. And I imagine when it comes to the mining, that they'll probably end up using it to help with the economy in the state.
I,
Using the
I
money.
agree. I agree. Look, see, the thing that I think that Ethereum is more lucrative is just because that your rewards come a little faster. So you, instead of getting like a fraction of a Bitcoin, like maybe every 10, 12 minutes or something, you would probably see like a bigger fraction of an Ethereum coin
And you're
within.
talking about like if they were like in a big pool, not if they were mining by themselves. You're talking about like an individual.
Yeah, well, I mean, even as an individual, you could run a nice little Ethereum rig and mine pretty good for yourself on Ethereum because of how light it is to mine and how easy it is to mine, and how big the rewards are when you're running a big enough rig. But at the same time, if you're in a pool, then that's more lucrative to be in a pool with people to mine, especially when it comes to Bitcoin, because that's how you'll get bigger rewards faster when you're mining, because now you got more nodes acting
Yeah,
as miners,
I think one of the unforeseen big hurdles that Texas is going to end up running into will be getting getting the hardware. I think that will be the big hurdle that they're not necessarily seeing right now, but down the road I think they're going to see that getting the hardware is going to probably end up being more difficult, especially with all the shortages and everything that's going on right now. Because as it was, people were having a hard time finding like graphics cards, for instance, because
Right.
because so many people were buying up the graphics cards to do mining, and so all these gamers are having hard times getting the graphics cards to obviously up the graphic integrity of their games, and so if it was a big complaint, just like in the gamer section, just imagine like when a large, you know, entity is coming in and trying to buy up, like fucking 10,000.
Yeah. I mean, well, who was that? One company. I think it was SOS, right? I'm pretty sure it was SOS. They may have become one of the biggest Bitcoin mining companies in the world, like one of the biggest mining farms. Um, if I could be wrong, but one of these companies spent like $150 million on Bitcoin mining hardware to mine Bitcoin, right? And that to me is just absolutely insane. So that just think about having that much equipment, what that electricity bill would be, especially if they're not running off of renewable energy, right? They're
Right.
just
Well,
they're
th-
just running right off of the old hardwired right to the wall type of deal. Like let's just say they're doing it that way and they're running off the grid, the electricity grid. That bill has got, how would you be able to fund that if you're not making a profit? So it's to me, you've got to be really wealthy if you want to mine Bitcoin. Because it's not easy. It's not a easy. 10 years ago, you
well, you
could
don't
have.
necessarily need to be really wealthy, but you definitely need to have like a really good network of people at the very least, right?
Well, I'm saying if you wanted to go into it by yourself, individually,
Oh
if
yeah,
you want to
individually
go
you'd need to be somebody like Jack Dorsey with their Supernode and all that.
exactly, and I'm not trying to say that like you have to be super wealthy, but if you are in one single entity and you want to go mine Bitcoin by yourself and you think you're going to try to get rich off of it, you're better off jumping in a pool with a bunch of other miners, or you're better off, waiting a couple of years until you got, a nice chunk of money to where you can buy yourself a nice Bitcoin mining rig. Other than that, 10 years ago, though, you could have mined Bitcoin like it was nothing.
Yeah, I mean, most certainly. It's just,
And it just got rarer and rarer, and
well,
then
I don't think that it was necessarily that you could mine it per se like it was nothing, but it was most certainly a lot easier to mine back then in comparison to
that's
now.
and that's what I'm saying is that it was a lot easier 10 years ago to mine Bitcoin than it is right now today.
Yeah, I think today, like you were saying, you most certainly got to be set up in some kind of manner in order to.
Yeah, you have to have yourself a nice rig farm. You can't just be sitting on, two, three single towers full of, ASIC cards and just thinking that that's going to get you, you might see a nice little return over a few, 4 or 5 years. You might see, a couple $100 or something. But I can't imagine that you'd ever be able to fund a business off of, running just a few towers or something. Like you'd have to have some serious rig set up in order to be able to fund a business if you wanted to be a Bitcoin miner.
Yeah, most certainly. You look over here at ADA, and they're not faring too well either. Over the course of the past couple of days.
It's been a bleeding market, a bloody market. So I
Yeah,
don't.
it's definitely been a slow bleed, I would say.
Yeah, it's like somebody stabbed the market and just got it to where it's gonna bleed out real quick for a minute. I see Ada coming back though. A lot of good things are happening with Cardano. I mean, it's always a lot of things are happening with Cardano. Like there's just too much stuff to so many business partnerships happening every other day, and it's gonna come back. It's just right now we're seeing this little market correction. Like, one of the topics you said that we were going to speak on tonight, and we'll get into that in a little bit later, with the G7 summit and stuff like that. A lot of those things are affecting the prices of the cryptocurrency markets right now. So, I mean, especially all the attention that the media has. It's really downplaying the market. Like the Bitcoin summit that just took place down in Miami, and yeah, it's just like, all this stuff is playing in on the market. A lot of people don't think that it is, but it really is. So it's drowning some of these prices out.
Yeah, and I mean, it really just depends on how long this bleed happens. If it's going to be a bleed, or if it's gonna end up stopping and then becoming more of a kind of just like some sideways action. Um, I'll go ahead and I'll pull this out to the 1 hour chart, or the 4 hour chart. Um, so like, for instance, on the 4 hour chart, from essentially like the beginning of the month to now the beginning of the next month, um, we got all the way up to nearly 250, came all the way down, you know, to $1, and then I'm pretty sure there was a time where there was a sub-dollar, but anyways, they reached to about $1, and then it came back up, but you know, it still hasn't broken past the $2 range again, and it kind of seems like you know, we kind of have like here's like a head, and then here's some shoulders, but I don't know. It just kind of depends. I feel like we're just kind of seeing more of a slow bleed. Things have been really healthy, but at the same time, there's been so much FUD, and it keeps driving it down. So, just like you saw over here on ADA, there's this, just like this small little peak, and then you see it again over here with Ethereum, and then it's a little bit different with Bitcoin, because Bitcoin ran there for a while, but
Yeah,
you
Bitcoin's
can
in a
you
downward slope.
well, that's what I'm saying, is like you can see, like, you just follow this pink, the MA right here, right, the MA7. You follow this right here, and it's just kind of like a slow bleed across the market. Dogecoin,
Yeah,
I think it tried to go, either it tried to go, or it did go sub 30 cents. I know it did a couple days ago, but I don't know if it did today.
What, Doge?
Yeah.
Yeah, Doge isn't doing so hot lately, which is okay because it's going to it's going to come back and do its thing in the future. So I'm not really worried about where the price of Doge is sitting because I know what it's worth. Right now is investing time. If you have extra money at 30 cents right now, I personally didn't think I'd see Doge hitting 30 cents again. But if this thing goes under 20 cents, boy, I'm all in. I promise you. I'm putting $400 or $500 in on Dogecoin. And that's just for sure because I know exactly where this thing's gonna go. The things that are gonna happen with Dogecoin here in the future is definitely going to make everything pop. So that's a very good thing. Um, I'm sitting here looking at it on, obviously the 1 day chart. We're sitting at, 33 cents on Friday, at 350, or today at 350, and then now it's at 30 cents right now. So it's slightly down, but Dogecoin to the moon, baby, because that's the only place I see it going to as soon as everything settles out with all this news and all this FUD all over the media and everywhere you turn. It's just FUD, or negativity, and a lot of people that are out here doing the things think it's positivity, but it's really just driving the markets down. Like, it's not really helping anything that every coin is trying to beef out with each other, and that projects are trying to stomp on other projects, or you know what I'm saying. So it's not a good time right now for the market. It looks like I'm sitting here going through a bunch of different coins like Decentraland and a couple of other ones. Everything's sloping down, so it's like once all this negativity and all these gray clouds clear, I think we'll see a bunch of these coins jump back up.
Yeah, I think we're probably going to be sitting here a while until we see that. Until we see
Until we,
another rise.
eh, who knows? You never know. We could see one tonight. We could see one tomorrow. That's the beauty of the market. You never know exactly what's going to happen.
No, we don't know exactly what's going to happen, but at the same time, based on the information that we have, and there's nothing necessarily new that's coming up anytime soon. Um, so like I could understand if we were really close to like say the I can't remember, is the London the next layer to Ethereum, or the next bridge. I can't remember what it was, but it's the London project. I think that's what it was called, the London project. But we don't have anything like that necessarily going on. And while we do have good things going on, like El Salvador, uh, you know, coming on, and taking Bitcoin as a form of tender, um, you know, right behind that, you have I can't remember who it was, but there's a specific. It's called like the IBM, the IDM, or the IMD. I can't remember what it was, but essentially it's an organization that that you know is about the funds of the world. Let's see if I can pull it up real fast.
Um, how about
Oh, the IMF. That's what it was. The IMF. The IMF
IMF?
wants to sit down with their the El Salvador president. They want to talk about their latest decisions, with Bitcoin and all that. And so, it's just kind of like one of those things where it's like, you know, uh, every time that we have something good come up, uh, there's some kind of FUD that comes right behind it.
And that's how it always works. Every time you got positive news, negative news pops up. And it's always how it's always going to be. There's always going to be some kind of negativity that comes out. And people are going to hate on other projects. People are going to hate on other people's successes. Like, these people are trying to step in now, to El Salvador or whatever. That's how it always is. Once they see somebody succeeding and trying to do something better, they're always like, oh, hold up. Yep, we got to get a say in here. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I know what you're saying. It's pretty much every time that we've had any kind of positive news come up, we've then turned around and had some kind of negative news come up right with it.
Right, exactly. I have like $2 on Bitcoin, he says. Dude, I have okay, I do have $30, but I don't really have a lot of Bitcoin, I'm not gonna lie. Most of my investments, obviously, in Dogecoin. That's where I have a very vast majority of my money is in Dogecoin. I have some money in smaller projects on my Trust Wallet. Afraid to say that. You never know where those bots might pop up at. Yeah. And so yeah, I got some, but I don't really have much Dogecoin or much Bitcoin. I got a lot of Dogecoin, but not too much Bitcoin because not that I'm not a believer in it or anything, but I just don't have enough money to play in that field.
Right. Yeah, I
So
mean, it's just kind of like I think that's why a lot of people enjoy getting into these other cryptocurrencies.
yeah, I do too. I think so too. Like, I want to get into Bitcoin. Trust me, like it's a great opportunity to keep pitching $100 in every other weekend if you got it or something like that, and just treat it like a savings account. Never touch it. It'd be a great opportunity to actually make some money and even double or triple your money depending on how much you put in.
They say gotta invest at least like 200,000. Yeah, I would agree. If you want to play in Bitcoin, you gotta lay down a pretty decent amount. At
That's
the
if you want to see like a fat chunk. Let's say okay, it's 30,000, right? So you put in 2,000. Now that thing goes up to 60,000. You got 4,000, right?
yeah.
Okay, so that's still a decent low profit, And if it does that a couple of times, if it dropped back down to 40, and then you drop 4,000 in there, and then it goes up to 60, you're gonna make like 2,500 or something like that back. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's fine, if you're willing to play like that. But yeah, if you want to make a nice chunk of money really fast, 200,000 for sure. You drop 200,000 in on Bitcoin, and you're gonna have a pretty good night.
Yeah. Well, unless you dropped like 200,000 when it was at 60K.
Yeah, no, I mean if you drop 200,000 in right now, and it goes up to 60K, you're sitting on 400,000 because you just made 200 profit. So that would be an excellent night in my book. I'd be on my way to go buy me a nice little bottle and just kind of hang out,
Right.
smoke me a stogie, and just chill.
So apparently there's been some more news about China, uh, you know,
Oh yeah, I was
and
reading.
they're banning more they're banning more crypto mining facilities now in the Yan'an province. I think that's probably how you say it. Uh,
Yeah, I was reading something about that actually. Sorry, excuse me. I apologize for that. Um, yeah, it's I was reading something about that here, and if they continue to do that, I kind of potentially see that maybe hurting the sales of Bitcoin.
well, I mean, I don't think it's necessarily going to hurt the sales of Bitcoin so much as it's
Well,
definitely
I
going to
mean,
start moving it's going to definitely start moving
the mining facilities to different places. I
yeah.
assume you're gonna say, yeah. Okay, I agree there, 100%. Like absolutely, you're gonna drive those businesses right out of your country, and they're gonna go somewhere else. All right, so now your government's gonna lose out on a lot of money. Okay, so now China's gonna lose out on all these Bitcoin mining facilities that they're banning. These people are gonna take their equipment, head off to a new country, right? Set up shop and go to town. Okay, that's cool. But what I'm saying is if they do that, I guess I shouldn't have said it's gonna hurt it. I guess I should have said, do we think it's gonna hurt it?
Right.
You know, because what if they ban it and then what if all of a sudden out of nowhere, now they're like banning the sales on Bitcoin in China? Unless you buy it directly from the government or something, because you know how crazy China can get. And I'm not trying to say that, but, they get real specific on certain things.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely it's interesting how they're kind of trying to, be involved with cryptocurrency but try and control it, and I'm just like, well, then you're kind of missing the point.
See, that's my point right there because they're like the most centralized country in the world, like one of them for sure. And it's like, how do you take a decentralized thing and try to centralize it? Like that's exactly.
Well, that's why they made the digital yuan.
Well, I'm just saying that's going against the textbook definition of what the cryptocurrency and blockchain was exactly created for. Like
Right.
if you're trying to take Bitcoin and say, okay, look here, uh, we'll use China. Okay, look here, China. Uh, I'm the government, and you can't buy this Bitcoin off of nobody but government facilities. Now it's centralized.
Yeah, except
You,
they're not even doing that. They're straight up just like, you can't even mess with crypto in general. If you want to mess with crypto, you just got to use our yuan or whatever it is. Like, uh, I'll read part of this article. China continues its
but then
rapid and
in a
this.
sense, though, in a nutshell, that's pretty much the same thing. Like you're saying, they're saying like, if you want to buy Bitcoin in our country, you have to use our digital currency in order to buy this, cryptocurrency. Okay, so that's cool. All right, they're still giving them the option to take their regular money and turn it into China's crypto to go purchase other crypto. It's like pretty much the same thing as buying Binance and turn around and going on the pancake swap.
Well, I don't think that's what they're doing. I think they're trying to make it to where like they don't necessarily use other crypto. They just only use the digital yuan. They
Oh, okay, so then they're leaning towards
that's
banning Bitcoin and cryptocurrency period in their
Well,
country.
that's why I'm trying to read this article to get some more information about it. It says that China continues its rapid and decisive clamp down on cryptocurrency mining. The Yan'an province reportedly becomes the fourth in the recent addition to the list to instruct cryptocurrency miners to cease operations immediately. It says that the hash rate dip in China is based on the mining pool. Some like Antpool, Poolin have reported declines as high as 12%. Meanwhile, BTC.top, a major player in China's mining sector, reported a 35.9% hash rate decrease after numerous operations went dark. That's probably talking also about I imagine that high number is probably due to them talking about originally when when that coal mine ended up having when they ended up losing power because of that coal mine. It says China continues to quiet its region in the crypto industry. The concerns over energy usage and carbon emissions from the cryptocurrency continue to drive China to take drastic steps to limit both. The amount of energy that's required to mine has been at the center of debate within the government. And then while Greenpeace estimates 60% of the electricity currently comes from burning coal, and to achieve carbon neutrality in the next 40 years is nothing if not ambitious. The whole idea of crypto mining goes against this plan of theirs entirely. With the energy consumption and greenhouse gases released, this apparently has led to China to continue taking steps to basically halt cryptocurrency mining in their country. And that's specifically just
Yeah.
about the mining part for that, because I think there was at some point they were using not necessarily like Bitcoin and things like that, but they were using cryptocurrency to do a lot of real world transactions, and that's why they ended up actually coming in with the whole digital yuan.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to me, that just sounds like it's a way to get them to be able to control, they don't want mining going on in their country, obviously. So that just came to a halt. And then they want their own cryptocurrency. It just, to me, it sounds like typical China. you know? Like if
Yeah, and
they
I mean, it's just kind of like
their own and be the top dog, then they don't want in on it.
somebody said, how high do we think that Bitcoin could go? The I mean, that really just depends. Like, do you mean how high do we think it could go this year, or how high it could go in general? Because I mean, as for in general, I mean, we could see it probably end up hitting $1 million. I don't see that as being unrealistic at all. It's just a matter of when, right? So when you ask how high it will go, are you asking how high it will go, by the end of this year, or what? By
By
the
the end
end of 2023?
that's a good question. Okay, that's a pretty good question.
So
All right.
I would say when it comes to crypto in general, it's really gonna depend on how adoption is moving forward. So if you think about where we're at right now, if we stayed where we're at right now, say essentially nothing really changed much between now and 2023 in the regards of adoption, then you're probably going to be seeing it somewhere to back to around the 50 or 60K mark, because I believe that it's probably going to be going back to the 60K mark before the end of the year. Um, but it just kind of depends on how the adoption is. So 2023 is pretty far to say, because it kind of depends. We had gotten recent news about how India wants to start talking about about Bitcoin and what its use cases could be, and about changing it over to a an asset class for India. So not necessarily the same thing that El Salvador did about making it into a legal tender, but then they are talking about changing it into an asset class. So, I mean, it just kind of depends on how adoption goes moving forward. If more and more people begin to understand how cryptocurrency works, and more and more, let's say, authentic projects are coming out that have, you know, good use cases or practical use cases, or just something that makes sense for whatever it is that they are doing, then it's gonna that's what's gonna end up driving prices up. Um, it's I've only been able to put about 200 in so far. I want to invest more, so yeah, I mean,
Right now
I
would be the time. Like
you
if
know
you wanted to invest more, right now would be an absolute great buying time, personally, in my opinion. Um, is to touch down on what he was just speaking on with the 2023. It definitely is going to have to play its role with adoption, like he said. More countries are coming around to the fact that Bitcoin could be a great store of value, and El Salvador, obviously, like he said, turned it into a legal tender, so that's great. So that opens up the doors for more purchases to Bitcoin and more money to flow in and out of Bitcoin, right? So at that token, we also have to play in what's going to happen with the news, what's going to happen with the FUD or the positive news, the negative news. Also, by the time 2023, at the end, we're going to be headed into a new presidency as well. So there's going to be a lot of stuff being created around that time, a lot of news, a lot of media going into, and we can't really predict exactly what's going to happen by that time, due to the fact that there's so much stuff to take course in between right now and 2023 that, personally, in my opinion, I see it sitting around like 72,000 by the end of 2023. But we don't know I don't know exactly, personally, what it could do before then, but I see it by the end of this year at least back up to 56,000.
yeah, and that's exactly what I was saying. I think the highs that we saw, in the coming year, like we hit here on Litecoin, they were at almost $400. I imagine they probably on some exchanges went over $400. And right now they're sitting at 156. So it's kind of like one of those things where it's just like, I feel like we're gonna slowly end up climbing back to where we were before. Not necessarily at the 60,000 range, but more so on you know mm, I would say probably about 52, 40, between 48 and 52. That will probably be that would probably be where we'll end up being at the end of the year, so long as everything continues to you know go in the direction that's progressive for crypto in general, right? So I don't
Well,
think.
from the talk, they said that at the end of this week, once this week was ending, it was going to be the end of the bear market, right? So hopefully we'll be seeing a bull market. We'll be on upward trends next week and see some of these prices climb back up. And you know, who knows? Bitcoin might only go right back up to 38 and keep dropping down, going back up 38 and keep dropping down like it has been. But I see it peaking back up.
Yeah, I think we did pretty. I think we did pretty good today. Or not necessarily today, but like over the past, the past, few days. We bottomed out down over here at 31, and then we recovered back, and so, we just basically kept, testing out, trying to test out that, that 38,000 range, and so that's kind of what's, you know, it, disheartening for us to go back into another dip. But I mean, it just kind of depends on, you know, where we're at come, you know, tomorrow, and then going through the weekend.
Yeah, I mean, that's normally on the weekend you see a lot of money flying in and out of these markets. So
Linker
hopefully,
says I've dumped their savings into ETH and Bitcoin during this dip. Hope we have a bull run next week. I mean, yeah, if we have a run next week, I mean, that would be absolutely fantastic, right? I wouldn't have any complaints whatsoever. It would only make me kind of, kick myself for, not going and investing, right?
I mean, look, I'm not gonna lie. All right, so some of these bigger coins have been in a bear market, right? But yet, a lot of these like smaller coins are, doing pretty well. To be honest with you, so like if just in my opinion, if you got some money put aside and you're investing into Bitcoin as well, put a couple extra bucks into some other coins too. Some other smaller products. Yeah, just I would have to say that that chart right there doesn't look so hot. That drop looks pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie, but I see it coming back up. But if you got a couple extra dollars set aside and you want a couple other places to invest some money to maybe see a faster little return, you could take like $100 and invest into like some of these smaller projects, right? And that some of these smaller projects are flying off the charts. I signed up for a couple of airdrops and got one just the other day. It was called Shiba BSC. Like I don't even remember signing up for the airdrop, and it hit my wallet, and that thing was worth $28. So there's some of these smaller projects that you could just invest like even $1 or $2 in right now, get a couple million tokens. And let that thing sit for a couple of weeks or even a month or so, and then next thing you know, you have a really nice return. On some of these coins, some people have already even 200 times their initial investment on like pre-sales and things of that nature. So that would be my opinion. Smaller coins, yeah. Love the smaller coins for the massive potential. What other coin do you think is hot? Personally, I think Burn One is a really great token. Um, I I personally love what they're doing, and what they're doing is like trying to fight for cannabis reform on the laws and like trying to help people get their records expunged, and they're just pushing for like a really good cause, right? So, but at the same time, um, just the other day it was like 20% up, and I've actually, from my initial investment, was like 59% up. So that's, to me, that's awesome. Like if it's going to do that already, I spent just a couple of pennies, like under even $1, right? And now it's already worth like almost $2 or $3. So to me, that's pretty sweet. So if you're looking for like a couple other small coins, like I can list a few off. Like Burn One is definitely one I would recommend. Um, and then there's this other one, obviously Feg Token. Yes, Feg Token. That's another one you guys should invest in, a smaller coin. Um, they're a little bit down right now. Obviously, the whole market's down. So, and a lot of these coins ride on the Binance Smart Chain, network. So when BSC or Binance, sorry, BNB coin is down, all these coins are going to be down. So when we see red in the Binance market, we're going to see red on the Binance Smart Chain token market. But another one is Boob token. That's a really great investment. They actually fight for breast cancer and donate money for breast cancer. Right now is a really good time to invest in there too, because of the way that the Binance coin is going, and it is negative 6.45%, sitting at $330. So that means that all these Binance Smart Chain tokens are down as well, and it would be a really good time to invest in some of these. Another one is Hold token. We talked about it before. We actually have a clip up on the channel itself, so you guys can check that out if you guys really want to. I'll talk about it in a brief second. It's down a little bit, but right now would be a good time to invest. You get Binance rewards from it on their website, so check them out. Hold token. And yeah, I mean, there's a few other good tokens out there. You can check out the Binance Chain charts, I believe it is, and find out some of these gems. See them all over Twitter, all over social media every day. KlueCoin, yeah, dude. KlueCoin is awesome though. Honestly, I like KlueCoin. They donated. I think they're at 50,000 or maybe even 100,000 to Save the Children movement. So yeah, I'm all about KlueCoin. I have a ton of it in my wallet. So if you guys are looking for another cool coin that actually serves a really cool purpose, KlueCoin is where it's at too. Hey, no problem. Glad I could help. There's a ton. Noob token's a really good token too. That project's about to take off. They just revamped their team. They just revamped their white paper and the roadmap. They got their website about to take off. You can get KlueCoin on PancakeSwap.
Yeah, I mean, if there's any other tokens that anyone else wants to bring up, I mean, I have no problem looking them up right now.
Yeah, KlueCoin, like I said, most of these coins are riding on the Binance Smart Chain network. So if Binance coin's down, most of these coins are going to be down. It doesn't matter how much money people are putting into them. Yeah, you might see a few of them up a little bit, but at the same time, they're still going to be down from where they were earlier throughout the day. What do you guys use for charting crypto? Sheeb. Oh no. He said.
I mean, when it comes to looking at the charts for crypto, I primarily use Binance for the show, just so that way I can show the bars and everything like that, so that way everyone can kind of see the candles real well. But generally, I mean, I go over multiple pages. I mean, you can find them all over the place, but the main one I just went off the top of my head. I think it was called I can't remember what it was, but essentially it was specifically for trading, but I can't remember off the top of my head. If I do, I'll go ahead and I'll drop it in the comments down below later. But it just when it comes to like looking at the charts for crypto, my I would say Binance is a really good one to look at, because you can look at you can look at the let me go ahead and just pull it up real fast. You can go ahead and you said what?
I said I like Bitrix's. I like Bitrix charts, man. Bitrix has a really nice website. I don't know. Webull has some pretty good charts, but they don't have a really good selection in the crypto. You just kind of strictly stuck to a few coins. But CoinMarketCap, they have pretty good charts too there. So, and CoinGecko, I use those sometimes when I'm looking up charts. But sometimes when I'm just quick looking, I just pull up Coinbase real fast.
Yeah, what I was gonna say about when it comes to Binance is that I really like how you can go ahead and you can look at their you can look up the depth chart, and a depth chart's really important when it comes to understanding whether or not we're getting more buys or if we're getting more sales, right? So if we look over here, we can see that we have a lot of support at 35,000, right? So that means that there's more buy orders, like preset buy orders at 35,000. In comparison to the sell orders at 35,700. So we can say from that we're going to be generally seeing a climb if we're to come over here to like the minute chart, right? We'll start to see. Um, I don't have the volume up here for some reason, but we'll start to see that it'll start to climb up based on what the depth chart's saying. So you can kind of see these stair steps right here, where it steps up. So those are like where there's just I guess you could say like a lot of similar orders at the same price, and so it steps up, just like how there's a lot of sell orders over here for about the 35,006 690 ish. But that's essentially what you can use to um, get a good idea of whether or not you should be buying or selling. But just make sure that whenever you're doing any kind of investing, especially if you're going to start trying to do any kind of day trading, you got to be really careful if you're going to start doing any day trading. If you are trying to trade with liquidity, or not liquidity, but
Margin?
yeah, if you're trying to
Do margin trading? Yeah, be
yeah,
careful there.
because
That's a terrible snake bite. I tell you what.
just the same with like these options for longs and shorts, right? There's some exchanges where you can have options for longs and shorts, and so we've been seeing a lot of liquidations because of that, because the market's been so volatile, um, that you just kind of got to be smart. And so the painful strategy is holding, but realistically, in this type of market that we're having right now, that's something that you might want to do, or you might want to start start shorting. And as terrible as it says that as it sounds, to start shorting Bitcoin and all this, that, and another, I mean, you got to look at what the trend is right now, and we're kind of following a downtrend, so it's kind of better to have those short options. But at the same time, you got to make sure that you're playing the market smart. So if you're trying to invest money that you shouldn't be investing, then you might need to rethink that strategy, just because you never should be playing with money that you can't afford to lose.
And
um
that's not financial advice, is it?
no, it's not financial advice. I'm just saying, you got to make sure that you're being smart with your money. uh Linker says, I'll start using Binance. Thanks for the value, fellas. Yeah, man, no problem. We're just here to
Of
help,
course.
and that's kind of one of the reasons why we started up this channel, was so that way we could start talking to the people in the community, and letting people know about some of these smaller projects, and then talking about some of the bigger news that's going on, with Bitcoin or Ethereum, Doge, Cardano, new contracts that will end up coming out, and things like
Hey,
that.
hey, XA, hey, all right, pull the chart up for Sheeb, bro. Pull this chart up for Sheeb. He said Sheeb in the comments. Let's pull this chart up.
All right, give
Let's.
me 1 second.
Yeah, no problem. Because from what I seen on a YouTube video earlier, they're talking about Sheeb's about to hit 10 cents.
10
And
cents. I don't know about 10 cents. I mean,
yeah, I know. It's probably a far fetched a valuation of somebody's opinion. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they're
And so
14% down for the past 24 hours. I mean,
yeah, so like I just wanted to look at this chart because personally, you guys know if you've watched, I'm not the biggest fan of sheep. But you know, I'm not here to hate on no project, okay? Uh so let them do their thing, but I mean, I see of course they're a BSC coin, right? And if that's the case, when Binance is down, it's going to be down. But I see that there's potential there. I see that they have potential to do some stuff. And whether or not they succeed past Doge, it's so as they claim they're going to, it's going to take a long time.
yeah,
But
I mean,
they're
how many, let's see, the total supply. So they actually already have a locked supply. Or no, they have that's the total supply that's out. Or yeah, okay. Sorry about that. But so right now there's, let's see,
it's quintillion.
yeah, the quintillion or
Yeah.
quadrillion or whichever one it is past a trillion. But you know, I wish it would. Oh, okay, so here's the circulating supply. So there's uh I guess 300 and 394 trillion is floating around. That's what I'm guessing because it says 394,000 billion. So I'm assuming that that's what they're meaning.
Yeah,
Um,
so too.
but I mean, I think it just kind of put a bad taste in some people's mouths, right? Initially, when it first came out, I think when they came out and said that like they're gonna make like the Dogecoin market cap drop to zero and stuff like that. I think that's what gave people a lot of bad taste. Gave them a bad taste in their mouth. But I think it's more about where they go from here, right? If they start just being a community that's just about trying to make progress for their coin and their they want to see all crypto succeed, then there's no problem with that. It's more of when they want it's more of when it becomes like that negative that negative path that will start to cause issues. And I mean that might even be one of the reasons as to why it is that they had some of the drop that they had afterwards, right? Because we all know that the big drop was because of what happened with Mr.
Alex.
Ethereum.
Yeah, that was definitely that was a crazy moment in sheep history right there. Because
So
they were doing
Linker,
really good. Yeah, I was just about to say that too. His comment.
yeah, he said he think they're dropping the swap soon. Hinted on their Twitter. Thinks it's a catalyst for. I'm assuming you were meaning to say the short term. I mean, I personally don't know. I don't really keep track of. I don't really keep track of.
I seen something today on Twitter though about Shiba Swap. And I'm not sure if you have to hold a certain amount of tokens or whatever it is. But if you go to Shiba Swap right now, they're dropping you like 5 million or 5 billion tokens of SHIB or something of that nature. That's what I seen floating around on Twitter. So I was actually going to ask about the Shiba Swap. I don't understand why you got SHIB Inu, and then you got Shiba Swap. Like, what was the point of this? Was that for you to be able to swap your Binance into the Shib easier, so you don't have to go to Pancake Swap? I imagine that that's what that was. I've never checked it out, so I don't track Shib. I'm not into Shib like that. I'm all about Dogecoin, and I mean there's a few other coins that I have. Like I said, there's one that I got that's called Sheeb BSC. I don't even remember signing up for the airdrop, but it showed up in my wallet. So,
Yeah, that's what I have pulled up right now, but they're on a 28% decline, so that's not looking too good for them.
well, that's also though like I have to refer again to the Binance coin is down. Then the Binance markets are going to be down. So anything that rides on the Binance charts or Binance market is going to be down, you know?
Drew said he loves the Doge. We love Doge too.
Of course, Dogecoin is like my number. That I'm not gonna lie. That is my number one favorite coin. The community is awesome. Everybody's cool. The coin is cool. It's fast. It's cheap. It rocks. So I mean, why not, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of funny how like we'll go ahead and we'll pull out to the 1 day chart, right? And there's been like a lot of complaints from people about oh Dogecoin is dead and this that and another, but it's just
Right.
like look at this right here, right? So you look at this right here, and I mean, you see that run up, the initial run up, right? From April to May, right? So then we go past that, right? And so we can go to the initial run up before that, right? So we hit almost 9 cents, right? I think this was this was like the day of the Super Bowl. We actually I think it actually wasn't 8-7. It was actually like 8-9 because I remember watching
Revolt.
it. Yeah, watching Dogecoin go up during that time. But so you see that run up, and so you look at this, and everyone was like, oh yeah, and then like you see over here, right? This is like 2 months, right, of just essentially 5 cents, 5 cents, 5 cents, and so everyone was like, Dogecoin's dead, it's over with,
Dude, I have to agree with what Linker just said. The Doge chart is beautiful. Look at that. That is like that should be that I don't know. That's a freaking a nice chart, okay?
Oh yeah,
When
I
you
mean,
look
like
when you
every
look
run
at
up
it
is just
right there,
hilarious.
yeah, when you look at it right there, just like that, man, it just looks great. And when in doubt, zoom out, dude.
Yeah, you look at it like imagine, back in November. I bet no one back in November was truly believing that it would have ever have gotten to like what would it be? What was it, like 74 cents? No one would have ever have believed that it would have gone to 74 cents back in November. They wouldn't have been like, "Oh yeah, it's probably going to be at like 74 cents in 6 months." Right?
Yeah,
The people
no,
that were thinking like reasonably about it based on, what they had seen on the charts, because, they're looking at it like, I mean, you got to get past a penny first, right? And so then, you know, they get up past like half a penny, and then they get up past a penny, and then it's up to 8 cents, and then it goes up to 48 cents, and then it goes up to 74 cents, and then right now we're sitting at 30 cents, and people were just like, yeah, it's dead, it's over. And I'm just like, yeah, but it's had it like 5 cents for 2 months before it did a run up all the way up to 40 cents for
dead.
for the April month, and then it ran all the way up at the very beginning of May to the to 74 cents. And so I mean, you can't
Keep coming, Linker. Keep dropping all them airdrop tweets all day. You know I'm signing up for them because I'm just doing mostly giveaways with them anyways. But dude, you're right. You're absolutely right, man. Look at that. How are they gonna say that's dead? Okay, now if that thing goes down to under a penny, then yeah, I'll say it's dead. But even if it went to a penny tomorrow, it's not dead. Dogecoin can't be killed. It's just not gonna get. It's not. No, it's just not gonna happen. It's gonna become a nationwide currency all over the internet. Everybody in the world's gonna adopt to it, and it's just gonna happen soon. And a lot of people just are not very happy with it because they think that other cryptos should be taking that chair. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, especially like the negativity that comes from the people that are with you
The
know
big taxis.
yeah.
Yeah, Yeah, the Bitcoin maxis, they do not like Dogecoin. No, Doge is definitely not dead. Hey, Drew, follow Alpha Bully on Twitter. He always got airdrops for weeks. If you need some airdrops, check him out. He always be tagging me in all these airdrops. But I don't understand why people say Dogecoin is dead. That to me is just absurd.
I think it's the people that bought in at like 60 cents and now they're just, half their money's gone and they're just real upset.
Well, see, and that's the problem there, is because that's poor investments. People are out here making poor investments, thinking that they're like gurus on investing, and then they're like, "Oh, it went down 30 cents. That project's dead." No, it's not dead. It's only dead if you sell. You know, because if it ever goes back to 60 cents or higher, you could still get your initial, investment. It's patience is what this market is.
Yeah, I mean, think about all the people that had invested at the top of the market 4 years ago. I mean, they had to wait 4 years to get their initial investments back.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Like, and the crazy thing is though, 4 years ago, would you have thought that you would have ever seen Bitcoin or any of these coins at any of these prices? Me, probably not.
Yeah, I
No.
mean, I remember it's hilarious, right? So back in like 2017, I remember an employee talking to me about how oh, all right, Linkard, have a great one. Enjoy your day or evening or work or relaxation time, whatever it is. Have a great one. But back when I was working up at the airport, uh, back in like 2017, um, I had this one employee who he was like brand new, and this kid talked a lot. I mean, he talked a lot, but one of the things that I remember him talking about back then was like I remember him talking about Bitcoin, and he was talking about like how he was like, yeah, man, it's like over $3,000 or something like that, and he was talking about it, and he's like, and I should have gotten into it then, and I was just like. I look back at that now and I'm just like I should have listened to that kid when that kid was talking about Bitcoin. I was like I should have investigated what Bitcoin was and I would have fallen into all this other stuff back in like 2017. And I guess maybe that would have been kind of bad, right? In the regards of what happened, but I mean at the same time, uh, you know, it wouldn't have been bad now, right?
Yeah, no, it'd have been a great place to be sitting right now. I'll tell you that, 100%. You wouldn't be disappointed at all. You'd be sitting on a couple, probably a couple $1,000,000 right now.
Oh yeah, and that's if I had invested in like the top of the market, right? So imagine if I had invested like right after the fall, then it just would have been like staying around the same prices the whole time, and I just would have built up a nice big sack. But hey, that's the past. This is now,
Yeah,
But
it's
it's
like,
just funny because it's like randomly, years ago, somebody told me about Bitcoin when I had zero knowledge of it, and I didn't think about it. I just completely blew it off, and then here it is now. I'm talking, I talk about Bitcoin almost every day, in some shape, way, or form.
man, I swear, same here. Like I said, all right. So 10 years ago, well, yeah, almost about 10. About 9 years ago, my friend came over to where I was living at and was like, "Hey, you want to throw down some money and get involved in this Bitcoin mining company with me?" And I was like, "What? Yeah, right. What are you talking about? Over here talking some bull crap, right?" Well, he didn't even get involved into it because he like checked into what it was going to cost electric wise and shit, and how much it was going to cost to buy all this stuff to actually do it. But had we got involved in that and invested in that, imagine where, we could be sitting at right now if we, started running a mining operation. Man, in 2012, running mining operation for Bitcoin, that'd be and actually like pursuing it throughout the whole 9 years from then till now, man, I'd be sitting on some pretty nice money right now. And so we miss opportunities in life, but that's why I get involved in these smaller coins, because they're giving me those second opportunities.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot about I had been hearing a lot about Chainlink. People had been saying a lot about how Chainlink had been going just real crazy there lately. And I mean, we go back and we look, and yeah, it had ran up as well. But they were talking about some new projects that they were going to be having here soon. I haven't really looked into it or anything. It's just something I thought I'd bring up randomly. Um, I guess one of the
Chainlink,
last things that we should probably bring up is these G7 talks that are going to be happening here in the near future.
yeah, I mean, I haven't really looked into it, but because it's all politicky, so I kind of have been staying away from the politics. Haven't really checked into the G7 summit thing to be. If you want to go ahead and touch down on some of that so we can understand where that's sitting, then we'll go from there and kind of base it off of what you got going on.
Yeah, so I mean, essentially, from what I understand, essentially, we've been having these cyber attacks and these ransomware things going on with the pipeline, and so apparently, it's one of the things that they're wanting to talk about during their G7. And I don't necessarily want to really get political about it, but I'll go over some of the stuff that could, that because this could potentially, it could potentially involve, cryptocurrencies, right? Because we know about the ransomware hackers using Bitcoin as the method of payment. It says, a ransomware attack is a type of hacking in which a cyber criminal will infiltrate a computer system and compromise the data or operations. The hackers will then require financial compensation from the owner of the system for the data or systems to be returned to the owner. Um, so when it comes to like what happened with the pipeline or whatever, that's something that they're going to be talking about in the G7 conference, and that's essentially like it's seven of the seven major countries of the world getting
Right.
together essentially to talk about various topics, and like with the whole COVID thing and everything like that. But essentially, since there was the cyber attack with ransomware and everything, and they were using Bitcoin. We heard the FUD about oh yeah, they had used Bitcoin, and then that was oh yeah, the criminals and all that. But when it comes to cryptocurrency, it's kind of something like, are they going to talk about it in the G7 conference? Are they going to be talking about what they should be doing about Bitcoin and these other cryptocurrencies, or is it something that's going to end up being brushed aside? And then we kind of go from there, because I mean, it all depends on whether or not they do have the talks. If they do have the talks, and then if they do have the talks, what the ramifications of those talks could be if they're negative, right?
Right. Well, I mean, it's it in this article that I'm looking at. It says that one of the highlighted topics or headlines is cryptocurrency is at the core of ransomware attacks. So I would have to say that yes, they are going to talk about cryptocurrency. It's not going to be brushed aside. I don't think that it's going to be the core of the talk at the G7 summit. I do think that the ransomware and the ways to defend against the ransomware are going to be more important than the cryptocurrency talks themselves to this group of individuals. But personally, I think that they are going to talk about cryptocurrencies. And the conversation, I think, is going to stem into a situation of them talking about legal tenders of current cryptocurrencies. That's where I see these conversations going. I mean, they're going to be, seven leaders of, seven of the greatest countries in, our world coming together, and they're going to sit there and talk about how I feel. They're going to talk about the ransomware, right? They're going to talk about the cyber attacks. Then they're going to talk about and they're going to talk about how blockchain technology can defend against it, okay? And then they're going to talk about cryptocurrencies and how cryptocurrency, I feel, is going to be a way that they can avoid these ransomware attacks,
Yeah, I mean, I think it just kind of depends, you know, how they see cryptocurrency, and I mean, we'll just kind of have to wait and see what happens when it comes to that. Is there anything else that you wanted to talk about before we close out the show tonight?
Yeah, actually, we need to draw a winner for this Feg token contest. Um, for the one that I was running for in likes of the channel here. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to post it on Twitter as well. So hopefully, maybe one of the guys or gals that have entered are in here. If not, then I will contact you on Twitter. So let's go ahead and I will give this thing a go. So let's see who we got. Okay, so we have. Oh, okay. Life Deji.
How do you,
Okay. Lifdegii.
you said
That is.
you said LIF?
Yeah, I just put it in the chat.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So that's who won the contest. Congratulations. I will contact you on Twitter, and we will go from there. Thank you guys for joining that contest. Thank you for showing Crypto Invest TV some love. Thank you for tuning in tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed the show, and we will probably see you soon. There it is, right there at Life Deji.
All right. Everyone have a great one. X8 and the Underdoge are out.
All right, take care, guys.